Come on, Kerala.
Hi everyone. Today we have with us Mr. Jaseel Jamal, entrepreneur, startup strategist. He's a graduate from Harvard University. And the first question I would like to ask you, sir, how did you start your career?
Very interesting question. I think I'm still on the journey of my establishment of the career. But in terms of beginning of my career, I started with e-commerce platform. I don't know if everybody knows about eBay.com. So I was an eBay seller. So I started my journey from there and then grew up to become a startup strategist today.
And when was the first time you started a company, and or when you started working in a firm?
I started my first business when I'm my second year of my university. So that's my journey of the entrepreneurship. And then since then, it's been 14 years starting multiple companies, and I'm here today.
Alhamdulillah. And I would like to ask you a question, like when the merging of your company, you told us, Clutchy Capital. So before this, how many different types of industries have you been to? When e-commerce was not a thing, you started it when you were a second-year student, and when technology, when there was development in technology, you were one of the major you were a part of it, where e-commerce and technologies were new.
As I told you that I came from e-commerce platform, so e-commerce was completely unknown to this part of the world during those days. So it was very difficult to transform the people that's around this world to coming to e-commerce platform. So I said, you know what, I should start an organization that actually convey people to become digitalized or digitalize their companies. So the first company that I actually started was a digital firm that actually converted businesses to e-commerce platform. That's why I started. So then each and every product that I made became a company of its own. Then eventually, over time, of course, there was plenty of companies to manage. So I said, you know what, we need an organization actually to manage all those companies. And that's when I set up the capital firm, actually was managing the funds and as well as managing the operations of the companies.
And also we know that you're a startup strategist. And so how can a startup reach you? And what are the facilities you give them, and how do you support them?
When you say startup strategy, is actually, to be very honest, startup strategy is my passion. So it's not my profession, but more like passion. So nurturing new businesses and guiding the youth and the new generation businesses to the next level is my passion. It's always been my passion. So I'm always accessible through my social media panels, my emails. So you can actually get into me through LinkedIn. A lot of people actually contact me through LinkedIn and the other social media profiles. But at the same time, you can also officially approach me through my capital firm. So in terms of how we work, we're very secluded, secured, a very segregated organization, but we look into more technology firms. So anybody is into latest technology or innovation businesses, that's where we actually go up and nurture. So our nurturing is different. We actually give a complete ecosystem for setting up an organization. It's just not a strategy. So all the way from funding to acquisition to the mergers to sell off, we guide people through. So that's what we actually go for.
Even we know that you've been to a lot of universities, which are dream for all of our students, including Harvard University. So can we know about Harvard, and can we tell people how you felt in Harvard, being in a classroom where all the CEOs and CMOs of all huge companies?
In terms of education, I'm a pro homeschooler. So basically all my kids goes to homeschool. So I'm not really a pro conventional schooler. So yes, my experience with Harvard or any other universities, it's been anything else like any ordinary, but the experience is meeting different people, different classes of people, and learning from them more than the university itself. So of course, yes, so during this journey, the most important thing I met was, I met very different people from different tenors, from different parts of the world, especially from the entrepreneurship background, and even executives. So of course, yeah, that journey being the most wonderful part. And I always tell people that if you really want to enjoy those things, you have to actually go to the West and actually get exposed to those kind of things.
So what are the challenges you face in your life? You're a hunter for knowledge. You're someone who's inspiration to us and the youth here for strategic planning. You're having masters in entrepreneurship and Islamic finance. So what do you have for us?
In terms of challenge, if you ask me, of course, and as an entrepreneur, you always go through challenges. You can never have a day that you said, you're done with the challenges and now you're successful. I think every day we go through some another challenges. But the most important thing that I actually want to share, or I always share daily with people, is that the challenges that I went through in my life, and that's all my personal experiences, and also with the people that I've learned that I met. That's even those billionaires that you meet, or the millionaires that you meet. So those information, that knowledge, how do we organize that knowledge and convey to people like you so that you can overcome those challenges much easier way than anybody else? You don't have to go through a decade of experience for you to get what you want to be.
Yeah.
So that's where people like me, that's what I said, it's more passion than more profession. So I get hundreds of emails on LinkedIn, can you mentor me, can you advise me, and I do it out of passion. It's not more like, okay, I want to charge you this much, or it's more because helping people becomes a passion of your life when you've gone through so much of challenges in your life to become successful. And I still say I'm still in the learning curve. A lot more to achieve in life. Yes.
So it's about following passion and not money.
I always say be real, and one of the best way, and one of the first books that I read through early stages of my entrepreneurship is this Rich Dad Poor Dad. And that the beautiful thing is that he said that if you want to be successful, take someone successful for lunch. And that's what I do. If you want to be successful, hang out with somebody smart. If you hang out with somebody stupid, you're going to be stupid, right? The Garfield. I used to have this poster in my school days, and back in my bedroom, and it says, if you want to be smarter, hang around with someone stupider. That's when you become smart. But then when I grew up, I said, when you want to be smart, you have to be with people who are smart. And that's what I always say.
So I'm blessed to hang out with you right now.
I'm humbled.
And what is the message you would like to give the youth about entrepreneurship and e-marketing? And how do you see yourself in 10 years?
Honestly, sorry to cut you off. So as I said, just continuing to your last question, as well as answering the last question, is that I always say, believe in yourself and follow your passion, right? Because that's the most important thing. And I always say that how to validate your passion is when people reject you. The more people reject you, then you know you're really passionate, and you should keep continuing it. Because having acceptance of everybody is not the sign of a success. Because that's when you really know. Because when I started my business, when I came up with the entrepreneurship idea of technology, the first people to reject was my family members. They said, except my wife, she always supported me for that. But I said that, so when you follow the path of passion, it's not necessary that everybody can accept it. But the key thing is following this passion until you become successful. That's my message.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.